It's possible that the stars hold the solution to the question of whether fate has a specific plan for you. You should think about this opportunity. Some of the days on the calendar are not merely coincidental. They carry a lot of spiritual significance, suggesting that you might be among the selected. A calendar is used to display these dates. Why are there so few people who discuss this subject? There is a reason why, despite the fact that you are unique, you have not yet found your method of doing things. There is a potential that the answer might be found in something that you have never been given the knowledge to grasp. It is not feasible for everyone to have a spiritual awakening. Nevertheless, if you were born on any of these days, it is time for you to discover what the universe has in store for you right now. If you were born on any of these dates, you are at the correct place. Be on the lookout for a finding that has the potential to affect your life in a meaningful way. Some people have a spiritual purpose that goes beyond what is commonly understood because they were born on particular dates. The selected individuals are creatures whose lives have a strong connection to spiritual traditions in the universe. These people have been carefully selected. Over the course of human history, a number of different civilizations and spiritual traditions have acknowledged these individuals as being possessors of extraordinarily substantial spiritual significance, who are connected to a more significant destiny. If one were to claim that individuals who are chosen are driven by a calling that drives them beyond the bounds of the ordinary and directs them toward a more meaningful objective, then one might say just that. To provide one example, the date of a person's birth might be viewed as a sign that they play a distinct and unmistakable spiritual function in their life. Those who are selected generally experience a great feeling of closeness to the spiritual realm at a young age throughout their formative years. Meditation and other types of introspection, which may help them determine their true life purpose, are methods that they find themselves drawn to. They realize that these methods can help them. Take the example of someone who was born on February 29th, a day that is not particularly common but has particular significance in relation to birth dates. It's possible that this person anticipated from a young age that they were meant for a unique career that involved helping others achieve spiritual enlightenment. It's possible that this foretelling was accurate from an early age. People who have been chosen to participate in spiritual traditions are beginning to realize how they fit into the greater scheme of things in the natural world. On the other hand, being chosen does not always mean that the path that lies ahead will be very simple. On the other side, these individuals are put into situations that are completely unique, which serve to test their capacity for resilience as well as their spiritual fortitude. There is a possibility that they would face emotions of loneliness, misunderstanding, or even exhaustion as a result of the commitments that are involved with their spiritual mission. In contrast, these challenges provide chances for personal growth and spiritual fulfillment, which are also beneficial outcomes. As a consequence of the difficulties they encounter, those who are selected are able to make use of their true potential and achieve things that the majority of people perceive to be impossible. The significance of astrological factors begins to become apparent at this point in time. Astrology, which has its roots in a number of different religious and spiritual traditions, suggests that the constellations that are aligned at the moment of a person's birth may very well have a substantial influence on the path that their life will take. This relationship is of far higher relevance for those individuals who have been chosen for this opportunity. It is possible that the positioning of the planets, particularly with regard to the signs of water and fire, has the potential to have a substantial influence on the person's capacity to engage in spiritual activities. One who is born under the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign, may have a high level of intuition and a natural connection to the spiritual realm. Pisces symbolizes the water element. An individual who was born under the sign of Aries, which is a fire sign, may, on the other hand, have an overpowering need to take charge and defend others. Not only do these astrological influences shape a person's personality, but they also direct the spiritual mission that each individual who is chosen is meant to serve the world. Suppose a person was born on November 11th under the sign of Scorpio, which is connected with the creative and transformative energy that is characteristic of water signs. This individual would be a Scorpio. There is a possibility that this person has a natural tendency to study the most private aspects of oneself and to discover the mysteries of the spiritual realm. Astrology tells us that these patterns are not the product of random occurrences, but rather are indications of a more complete cosmic plan. This is information that we may learn from. The planetary alignments that are present at the time of a person's birth create a type of map that steers them in the direction of achieving spiritual enlightenment. It is possible for individuals who are interested in grasping and achieving their life's objective to gain a great deal of advantage from the use of this astrological map, which gives essential insights into their spiritual capabilities and challenges. After all of this has been said, it is of the utmost importance to bear in mind that astrology is but one part of the larger spiritual picture. Free will continues to play an important role, despite the fact that it guides and directs behavior in certain ways. The individual who has been chosen is the one who is accountable for pursuing the path that is given by the stars in a way that is both purposeful and active. It is similar to a cosmic dance in which the person chooses their steps based on the influences of the astral realm, but they always have the responsibility to determine their own fate. It is via this process that astrology and spirituality connect with one another. As a result, numerology contributes yet another level of understanding to the overall picture, which is crucial to take into account. Like astrology, numerology is an age-old spiritual discipline that determines a person's spiritual destiny by analyzing the numbers connected to their birth date. Establishing the person's spiritual path is the goal of this. A more comprehensive understanding of their life path is provided to the individuals who have been chosen as a result of this scientific discovery, which unveils previously hidden levels of significance. There is a specific vibration connected with each number, and according to numerology, these vibrations have the capacity to affect the spiritual decisions and issues that an individual will meet in their lifetime. A person who was born with the number 11 in their birth date, for instance, is sometimes considered to be a spiritual teacher on occasion. There is a widespread belief that this person possesses a profound connection to the divine, as well as a special responsibility to guide others along their journey. When you think about the fact that you were born on a date that adds up to the number 7, which is the number of spiritual guidance and contemplation, you should take this into mind. It is possible that this number is a sign that your life path will be concentrated on the in-depth study of spiritual ideas, which may even lead you to become a mentor or guide for other people. Both of these outcomes are possible. Numerology offers this one-of-a-kind perspective, in which each number is the representation of a symbol. This serves as a reminder that there is more to our existence than the realm of the physical, and provides a fresh perspective on the subject. For individuals who have been chosen to take the first step toward arriving at a point of acceptance and fulfillment of their spiritual purpose with more clarity and conviction, an understanding of these numbers may be the first step that they take. Numerology, much like astrology, is not a predestined series of events, but rather a means for developing one's abilities and introspection. Numerology is a method for attaining self-awareness. Despite the fact that statistics reveal patterns, possibilities, and difficulties, the primary factor that determines outcomes is still the free will of the person. By obtaining an awareness of the significance of numbers in your life, you may be able to get a spiritual compass, but it is ultimately up to you to decide where you will journey next. Furthermore, as we proceed with our consideration of numbers, there are certain days of birth that, according to these disciplines, carry an even more deep spiritual meaning than previous dates. Some birth dates are linked to a sense of spiritual responsibility and a sense of mystery. These dates are tied with particular birth dates. Certain dates, such as January 1st, February 29th, and November 11th, are regarded to be special moments when the powers of the universe join together in a certain way. This is the case in a variety of different spiritual traditions spanning the globe. An individual who was born on one of these days is not just an ordinary human being. Rather, they are endowed with a purpose that extends beyond nothing more than the plain act of being. The date of birth is a type of spiritual signature that signals that this creature has a uniquely significant role to perform in the grand drama that is life. With regard to the universe, this day acts as a marker. For example, a person who was born on February 29th, a day that comes only once every 4 years, might get the idea that their purpose is similarly one of a kind and out of the usual. This is because February 29th is a particularly rare date. The individual has a sense of being compelled to examine the mysteries of life in ways that very few other people do. Because of this uniqueness, the individual possesses heightened spiritual sensitivity, which is a representation of this uniqueness. The 11th of November is commonly associated with moments of awakening and spiritual gateways, owing to the fact that it has a recurrence of numbers. This is similar to the previous point. Individuals who were born on this day may come to the realization that they possess the power to access greater levels of consciousness and the aptitude to assist others on their spiritual journeys. This is a possibility. These dates are not only numbers on a calendar, rather they are portals to a more fundamental understanding of one's own identity, which may be gained through consideration. It is possible that individuals who are considered to be chosen and who are born on particular days may have a tremendous feeling of spiritual obligation, as if the universe is constantly speaking with them via the use of signs and messages. However, despite all the significance, the day of a particular person's birth does not completely decide the course of their life on that particular day. The numbers are not the only indicators and clues that may be used to determine whether or not you are indeed one of these remarkable people. There are additional signals and clues that can be used. The appearance of these signs is often discreet but important in the majority of instances. If a person has been spiritually picked, there are several indicators that may be utilized to identify whether or not they have been chosen. People who are selected frequently have heightened intuition, which gives the idea that they have a sixth sense that assists them in navigating many kinds of hard situations. It's possible that they have the ability to see energies that others are unable to, and they typically find solutions in vivid dreams that appear and feel more real than the reality around them. Dreams like this are not simply the result of the subconscious mind, rather they are messages from the spiritual realm that offer guidance and comprehension on the path that should be taken in the future. A further clue that you could be chosen is the fact that you have a heightened feeling of empathy about the situation. People who have been selected have a propensity to keenly perceive the emotions of others, and they may even absorb this energy, which can be draining from time to time. However, this ability is also a gift since it bestows upon them the ability to provide support and guidance to others who are in need of assistance. If you have a connection to this sensitivity, you should be aware that it may be a strong indicator that you were chosen for a more major spiritual purpose. Do not ignore this possibility. It seems as if the responsibility of becoming a guiding light for other people and shedding light on the path in times of darkness has been placed in your hands by the universe at this exact moment. In addition, individuals who are chosen commonly have a feeling of detachment from the material world, as if they are destined for something that is more vital than the acquisition of worldly things or social position. This is because a sense of disconnection is a common occurrence among those who are chosen. The fact that they have become detached is not an indication of apathy. Rather, it is a sign that they are conscious that their responsibility goes beyond the realm of the natural. If you have ever contemplated the rationale behind why you feel isolated from the world around you, perhaps this is yet more indicator that you were chosen. This is especially true if you have ever considered the possibility that you were chosen. But recognizing these signals is just the beginning of the process. It's not even the first step. Furthermore, the spiritual path necessitates the individual to make choices that are purposeful, and it is precisely in this context that the concept of free will is very important. An individual's own free will is one of the most powerful impacts on their spiritual journey, and it is especially important for the person who has been chosen to follow this route. It is your free will that ultimately decides the course that your life will follow, despite the fact that your birth date and other clues may suggest that you have a life purpose that has been established for you. Despite the fact that you have been chosen to carry out a spiritual mission, you still have the power to decide whether or not you will honor the calling that has been placed upon you. The fact that this is the case demonstrates that, despite the existence of spiritual forces, it is entirely up to you to decide the path that your journey follows. In the end, advancement in one's spiritual life is not something that happens of its own accord. It requires a deliberate effort, decisions that are made with the idea of moving forward, and a determination that is immovable. It is possible, for instance, that a particular person will feel a strong draw toward a spiritual path. Yet this does not always mean that they will not be challenged with temptations or distractions anywhere along the journey. When it comes to coping with these challenges, the freedom of will becomes an important factor. When confronted with these distractions, the individual has the choice to either give in to them or to remain committed to the purpose for which they were formed. For individuals who have made the decision to accept spiritual development, the practice of meditation, the reading of sacred texts, and the quest of continuous learning are all vitally significant actions to do. Through the utilization of these routines, it is possible to not only keep one's focus, but also to connect one's actions with the spiritual purpose that the universe provides. It is necessary to acknowledge that the process of spiritual growth is a never-ending trip that is full of both highs and lows in order to have a complete understanding of the function of free will to begin with. There is a possibility that each choice you make can either bring you closer to achieving your objective or cause you to deviate from the path that you are currently headed on. Furthermore, due to the fact that you have the option to alter the path that your life takes at any time thanks to the power of free will, even distractions may be instructive opportunities. The cultivation of your spiritual skills and keeping harmony with your purpose may be performed in a variety of various ways, and this is in relation to the activities that might assist promote this progress. People who have been chosen must engage in activities that are beneficial to their physical, mental, and spiritual well-being in order for them to be able to fully develop their spiritual capabilities during the course of their life. Meditation is an essential practice that can assist in calming the mind and bringing one's attention to higher energy. Among these necessary activities is the practice of meditation. I appreciate you coming along on this insightful adventure with me. Please leave your opinions in the comments section below if this message struck a chord with you. Keep in mind that your path is shaped by every decision you make. Continue to embrace your individual journey and shine your light till the next time.